Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to a brand new video. In this one, we are going to detail everything you need to know about Raphinha signing for Arsenal. From Arsenal genuinely interested, as reported by Fabrizio Romano, to now very close to finding an agreement with Leeds United. Is the player interested? Are Arsenal interested? Is Barcelona out of it? And what about Leeds United? Are they willing to sell? I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about this transfer because that is what I do best on the podcast. But before we get into that, I'm going to ask you a simple question. Do you think Raphinha should start ahead of Saka next season if Arsenal sign him? Do you think Raphinha starts ahead of Saka next season if Arsenal signed him? Would you rather see them both in the starting lineup, or would you see Saka start ahead of Raphinha, and Raphinha being a backup to Saka? Both amazing players, and both players have had amazing seasons last campaign. For now, let's get into the content. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the podcast. We're very close to 46,000 subscribers. And if we can get this video to 500 likes, it will be massively, massively appreciated. Let's get to the content. Let's start off with Fabrizio Romano initially reporting that Arsenal are much interested and there is genuine interest in Raphinha. Now, it looks like a couple of other clubs right since March were interested in Raphinha. A couple of clubs made contact with Leeds United, including Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. But according to Fabrizio Romano, there were only two clubs that were genuinely interested in Raphinha since February and March, and that is FC Barcelona and also Arsenal Football Club. At the moment, Barcelona look like they are not much interested. They are not in a position where they can sign the player, and I'll tell you much about that. But Arsenal are in a position where they can pay the fee that is being asked by Leeds United to take Raphinha away from them. So it looks like Arsenal leading that race. The genuine, the interest in the player is 100% genuine, as reported by Fabrizio Romano and also as reported and confirmed by David Onstein. Now, is the player interested in joining Arsenal Football Club? Mikel Arteta has made it very clear that any player that does not seem convinced, any player that really doesn't want to join his project, will not be part of his transfer plans. Now, is the player interested in a move? According to sources, according to reports I have, Raphinha does not have a problem with joining Arsenal Football Club. He's been told about the project going on at Arsenal. He really does not have, he's not agreed personal terms and he's not agreed anything with Arsenal, but he doesn't have a problem with Arsenal Football Club. He will be 100% willing to join Arsenal if Arsenal can find an agreement with Leeds United. It should be also quoted that Barcelona have agreed personal terms with Deco, the agent of the player, Adnan Raphinha himself. Almost it's very, very close. When the agent agrees, then the player probably has agreed. But some reports indicating that Raphinha does not know about Barcelona. Yes, he's had rumors that they're very much interested, but the talks between Xavi and the representatives of the player do not include Raphinha. It has been between Deco, the agent, and FC Barcelona. So personal terms are agreed since February between Barcelona and Raphinha, but that will not deter the deal. Raphinha will be willing to move on to any other club that is interested as long as they can guarantee him game time. Will Leeds United sell? Because that is also another key factor in every transfer that happens around the market, especially one of those, especially in those transfers that you need to take a very, very short period of time to get it done. Leeds United are very much interested in selling the player. They will listen to offers from all the clubs around interested in the player. They have set the price at around 66 to 75 million euros. That is 55 million euros guaranteed payments and 15 million euros more in add-on. So Leeds United are open to the idea of selling the player this summer. They have an agreement between them and Raphinha that if a club comes in and they are interested in Raphinha and they have the money, then Leeds United will be selling. It should be noted in this one that Leeds United do not have any intention of keeping Raphinha against his well. He's talked about them, he's talked to them, he's talked about a potential transfer, and they are well aware of his intentions to leave the club this summer. Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur have all been in contact with the club, like I said at the beginning of the video, and that should tell you that Leeds United are more than willing, are more than ready to sell the player. And of course, if they're not willing to sell, they wouldn't be in negotiations with Arsenal at the moment, trying to find an agreement around the price and also the structure of the deal. How much is the price are we talking about here? Like reported by Fabrizio Romano, the most accurate and consistent source around this story has been Romano. He says it's going to be 55 million euros guaranteed payments plus more money in add-ons. Now, where the deal is a little bit confusing in terms of the price, it is a couple of sources, including those that I consider so much reliable, are saying it is going to be 60 million euros overall. However, Fabrizio Romano says it is going to be 55 million euros plus another probable 10 to 15 million euros in add-on. So overall, Leeds United are asking for around 65 to 75 million euros for Raphinha. Is he worth it? We'll talk about that at the end of this video. But in my opinion, the quality that he possesses as a player, you might not really argue that he's not worth that price. So the price we're talking about is between 65 million euros to 75 million euros, as reported by Fabrizio Romano on the Here We Go podcast. Barcelona only have 40 million euros of that, and Leeds United have told them it is not really going to happen. And so moving on to the next point is how much contacts have happened between Arsenal's Edu and the representatives of the player. And I can also confirm that Deco, the agent of the player, has talked with Edu, has talked with the representatives of with Arsenal representatives, and Arsenal representatives have also talked to Edu to find an agreement between them. It is also still believed that Edu still thinks that player will make it to Barcelona, especially if Ousmane Dembele leaves. But Xavi just confirmed that the priority for Barcelona this summer is going to be making sure that Ousmane Dembele stays at the club. Of course, if Dembele stays, then it's going to be Raphinha not going to this the Camp Nou this summer. So Edu has held contacts with Deco, fellow Brazilian, on the deal. No personal terms agreed. Nothing agreed between Edu and Deco. Deco is willing to take the player to Arsenal if Arsenal have the money and they can guarantee him game time. But at the moment, nothing agreed. However, contact between the two agents, the technical director and the representatives of Raphinha, have actually happened. Also, in terms of contacts, the two clubs are now in direct talks and direct contact. The board for Arsenal and the board for Leeds United are in direct contacts and indirect talks for Raphinha. That is confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. So the deal is kind of advanced from that level where Arsenal are just interested and Arsenal are just monitoring. They're now in direct talks with the player and also with Leeds United, and these talks will actually materialize into something if a deal can be agreed, whether Nicola Pepe leaves the club or stays. So it looks like Raphinha comes in directly as a replacement for Nicola Pepe, but Arsenal will get the replacement deal done before the player leaves. That is also confirmed. Cossy, do we have any bids for this one? No, at the moment, we do not have any bids, as confirmed earlier on yesterday, and now I can confirm today. Arsenal are just set to put in their first initial 58 million euro bid. Yes, a couple of reports are saying Arsenal put in an offer. A couple of reports are saying Arsenal are very, very close to the offer that the asking price that Leeds United have said. But according to my reliable sources, especially like I said, Romano being the key journalist in this story, I do not have information that Arsenal have made any bid for the player. But this is what I can confirm as well. Barcelona have discussed a 40 million euro offer for the player. Leeds United will not accept that. Barcelona have only discussed internally an offer around 40 million euros without any add-ons, and that money will not be paid up front. Now, what I know about what I know about this story, about the price and what exactly Leeds want in terms of the package, is you have to pay 55 million euros. That is guaranteed, not in installments. The installments will come, will be structured if Arsenal decide to add add-ons, or if Leeds United decide that there will be any add-ons on the deal. That is when they will listen to a structuring on add-ons, not on the guaranteed payment. So Arsenal have not made an initial bid. Spurs, no. Chelsea, no. And FC Barcelona have discussed 40 million euro offer, but they have not tabled it because they have already been told 40 million euros is way below the valuation of Leeds United in the player, and it will not be accepted. Moving on, what exactly is happening between Barcelona and Leeds United? Being provided that it was reported a deal was very, very close. Now, Barcelona have cooled their interest, as reported yesterday. Barca have cooled their interest in the player. Raphinha would love to move to another club, will not wait for Barcelona because it is now weeks, and time has gone without the camp of Raphinha listening or hearing from FC Barcelona. What we understand at the moment is the Barcelona are not in a financial situation to sign Raphinha, and even if they were, he is not their priority this summer. It looks like 50 million euros will be going out for Barcelona's pocket to go and pay for Robert Lewandowski, who will be leaving Bayern Munich to join them this summer. An initial offer for Robert Lewandowski from Barcelona was already turned down by Bayern, who are asking for at least 45 million euros. So even if Barca decide to go for Raphinha, even if they find themselves in a situation where they can sign one or two players, at the priority on top of the priority list, Raphinha is not there. It is Robert Lewandowski, is Bernardo Silva, and a couple of other players before Raphinha comes in on that list. So Barca have actually cooled their interest. They are not absolutely withdrawn like it was reported yesterday. They are interested, but they have cooled their interest, understanding their financial position, knowing they will not be able to raise the offer that is being asked by Leeds United. So the big question now: how close are Arsenal to signing Raphinha at Arsenal? So the big question, the big answer right now, according to Romano, Arsenal are in direct talks and indirect contacts to sign the player. However, at the moment, we do not have an agreement between us and the player. Although Goal.com yesterday confirmed that the deal is very, very advanced, Arsenal have thought about a huge offer that Leeds United will not be able to turn down. So at the moment, Arsenal are in advanced stages. According to Goal Brazil, they're on the verge of signing the player, like I reported yesterday. But Fabrizio Romano says, yes, direct contacts going on between Arsenal and Leeds United. No confirmation whatsoever of an agreement. And of course, if that comes in, I will be able to let you know. So the question now lies, the last question that we'll discuss in this one is, who is Raphinha and what does he bring on Arsenal Football Club? One thing you have to know about Raphinha, young Brazilian, 25, I don't know if that is young, but young Brazilian winger playing for Leeds United. He predominantly has played on the right-hand side of the attack. Last campaign for Leeds, scoring 11 goals and assisting 3 times for them. He can also play on the left-hand side of the attack because he predominantly uses that left foot. So it is being believed that he can come in at Arsenal and play at the left-hand side, or even play at the right, and then that would see Saka shifting from the right to the left. One of his key attributes in the game that we saw last campaign is creativity, freaking taking, and also his ability to be a single pivot in attack. You can rely on him. He's very, very reliable. You can rely on him in attack, and he's definitely going to provide absolute quality. Will Arsenal bench Saka for Raphinha? That is the question that many Arsenal fans are having a debate around on different social media platforms. I don't know what you think, but I need your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to get my WhatsApp group, the link is in the comment section and also in the video description of this video. I'll speak to you in the next one.